Up now we have Felipe Millon. He's the Southeast Regional Director for the United States of Amazon Prime Now. Felipe, welcome to the stage.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. So my name is Felipe Millon, and I'm here representing Amazon Prime Now. So I hope a lot of you guys are users of this service, and this isn't the first time you've seen Prime Now. So what I'm here to do today is talk to you a little bit of Prime Now, a little bit of story, how we got started. I think there's probably a lot of entrepreneurs in the audience, and so what I'll do is throughout the story, as we're kind of a startup within Amazon, I'll talk a little bit about some of our lessons learned and some of the decisions we made along the process that might be applicable as well. So, and I'm actually here, was born in Colombia, but actually grew up here in Miami, so I'm really excited to be here on the Emerge stage here in Miami today. So before I start off, I'll show a quick video about Prime Now. So Prime Now is Amazon's fastest delivery service yet. So what we do is deliver everyday essentials in up to less than an hour. So everywhere from you can either do free 2-hour scheduled deliveries, or if customers need items right away, they can, for $7.99, get orders delivered within an hour. And so our team was formed with the mission to delight Prime customers with this innovative service that would offer this ultra-fast convenience service with what we call the top sellers of everyday essentials. So what we decided to do was build a standalone mobile application focused on great selection, available initially only in Manhattan. In addition to this app, we also had to shorten the order pipeline. So we had to get orders from the time the customer checked out to the time it was available to pick into less than 5 minutes in order to be able to get it to customers in an hour. And we also had to create an urban fulfillment center. So in order to be able to deliver in an hour, we have to be where the customers are. There's no way to deliver that fast without being there. And so we had to have this new urban fulfillment model. In addition, we also had to create a courier-facing toolkit, which I'll talk a little bit about as well. So what did we actually build? So this is a sample of our initial version of the app. If you go on it today on Prime Now, it looks a little different. We've changed some of the color schemes around. But this is the initial app. So we had this simple mobile application that we wanted customers to allow to make purchases on the go. So as one of the initial choices we made, we decided to go mobile first. So we actually, if you were an early adopter of Prime Now, one of the things you noticed is we actually did not have a web-based version to order from Prime Now initially. We were mobile first, started immediately on the app because we wanted to cater to customers on the go. So the interface is very simple and enables customers to browse tens of thousands of items and make everyday purchases of these essential items, things such as milk, eggs, paper towels, Amazon devices, batteries, or toys. So customers can choose when to have their delivery available, and provided, as you can see, some either scheduled window in the future or have it within an hour for $7.99. And once an order is placed, as you can see in the app, you can actually track your courier real time to see where your package is along the way. So our location. So in order, as I mentioned earlier, in order to launch an ultra-fast delivery service, we have to be where the customers are. So our choice was the city center. So we were right in the middle of the city. So, and where did we choose our first Prime Now hub? We looked at where we had the highest density of Prime customers. So I didn't mention earlier, but we are a Prime exclusive service. So in order to use Prime Now, you have to be an Amazon Prime member. So we look for is where do we have the highest concentrations of Prime members, and that's where we decided to put our urban fulfillment center. So our specific warehouse for our first one was actually in Manhattan, just across the street from the Empire State Building. So this is actually a view right in front of our building. And so we're across the street of the Empire State Building, as I mentioned, which is also, this building happens to be the headquarters of Amazon's New York City operations. So the building itself. So we had to have this fulfillment center in downtown Manhattan. And so we decided to have this fulfillment center inside of a commercial building. So it's not a traditional fulfillment center as you would think of for Amazon. And so we really had to, and the reason for this is we had to be where the customers were. So normally, we don't have large million-square-foot facilities right in the city center, and so we had to figure out a new operating model in order to be right where the customers are. So this is what our warehouse looked before. So this is actually the 5th floor of the building is where our warehouse initially was, or where our warehouse and our inventory was. It was on the 5th floor of this building directly across the street from the Empire State Building. So you can see we had a lot of work to do to turn this into an actual fulfillment center. So we started at square one. And this, you can see, is a little bit of what our fulfillment center looked like after. So we had to do all sorts of different construction to this. So everything from completely new flooring to drywalls, power feeds, and then we also had the first floor where our courier area is, and there we had to add new bathrooms as well. So this is actually what the courier area looked like. So you can see, obviously, a construction site, and this is what it looks like after. And so this is the courier area where we're dispatching orders from. So again, as orders come in, we get them down from the 5th floor, using the elevator down to the 1st floor, and we get those orders out right away. So one of the biggest things we did in order to, what we had to do is also leverage Amazon's. So one of the only reason we were able to do this is because we were able to, as one of our VPs says, stand on the shoulder of giants. So all of Amazon's technology in the past, all of our systems that we had built, we were able to leverage and adopt for this ultra-fast delivery model. So we took our lessons from our operating million-square-foot facilities and tried to figure out how do we can take those processes and bring them down to a smaller urban fulfillment center model that would enable these orders to get out the door in minutes. So in addition to a customer side, we actually had to create a whole delivery platform as well. So as you can imagine, the network didn't exist previously to offer delivery and to get that last mile within an hour. So we actually had to create a whole delivery platform as well. And so this is actually what the delivery app looks like. And you can see we had to provide our couriers actually the directions to be able to do that point-to-point. The whole routing of orders and batching of orders all had to be done through this. This has actually spun off into an entire new business for Amazon, which is called Amazon Flex. Some of you might be familiar the way Amazon Prime Now packages are delivered is using independent contractors to be their own boss, create their own hours, and deliver packages on behalf of Prime Now. So we launched. So this is in December of 2014, we launched. And funny enough, our first order was for a game, the Xbox Rush game, which was very appropriate. It was ordered at 8:51. We packed it at 9 a.m. It was scheduled for delivery 10 to 11, and we ended up delivering this order at 10:01 a.m. So as you can imagine, we were really excited day one. We were all standing around waiting to see what this launch would be like, and we were able to get that order to the customer on time. So that was our first launch in 2014. So we started in Manhattan, single zip code actually. So we're in downtown Manhattan, one single zip code where we are operating at. But we've expanded really quickly. So we've taken those learnings and started expanding very fast. So in 2015, we actually launched 30 cities across the US. So a great story is actually Miami, right when I joined, was the second city that we launched. So our first city was Manhattan, and our second city to launch in March of 2015 was actually Miami. So Miami has actually been one of the earliest cities to have Prime Now. The thing we focused on throughout 2015 was how to expand, how to simplify our process and expansion. So as you can imagine, we were launching that first zip code. We were all standing around very eagerly waiting to see that one order drop, launching one zip code. Today, we launch cities, it seems, almost every other day, and we've built the processes and the scalable, repeatable processes to be able to just continue to launch cities. So in 2016, we launched about the same amount of new cities. So now we created an entire launch team that focuses on bringing this service to more and more customers. In 2017, we added a few more cities and continue to refine the service. And the biggest thing that we've also done is continue to expand our product offering. So in addition to our retail offering, which is what I'm mainly talking about today, we also started offering delivery from local stores. So we started creating Prime Now not only being a service itself, but to actually be a platform for others. So, for example, if you're in Seattle, you can actually order from Bartell's drugstore, which is a family-owned store in the Pacific Northwest area. You can actually order from Bartell's drugstore through Prime Now. So they're listed as a merchant on our app. Click through them, and we use the same process. We'll go pick up the order, and we'll get it delivered to you in that same speed, so up to in less than an hour if you choose, or in a free 2-hour scheduled window. In addition, probably one of the most famous local stores recently is, of course, Whole Foods. And actually, just this morning, we announced the expansion of our Whole Foods. So we previously had Whole Foods delivery that we started this year in 7 cities, and we actually expanded to 3 more today. So I believe as of this morning is available in Denver, San Diego, and Sacramento. And this applies internationally as well. So for example, if you are in Paris, you can order from Fashion and actually get some macarons delivered through Prime Now. Or if you're in Madrid, in Spain, you actually might be able to get manchego cheese from a cheesemonger in Mercado de la Paz. So this is an iconic food market that has been operating since 1882, and you can buy the freshest produce, fish, meat, and cheese, and get it all delivered by Prime Now. This is an especially interesting use case because Mercado de la Paz, if any of you have ever been, is not a single store. It's a marketplace of many different stores. And so to be able to coordinate with all the different merchants and create an app, especially on the servicing side, to be able to have a customer's order from any of those marketplaces and have it all delivered to you was a great one. And one of my personal favorites, in addition to local stores, we also have local products. So this is something I had worked on directly, is working with El Latino, which is a small business here in Miami, founded by Marilena Ibanez. She's a fantastic partner throughout this process. She was actually going to be here with me today on stage, but she had a granddaughter that was born, or a grandson that was born today in California, so she unfortunately couldn't make it here. But El Latino has been a fantastic partner. So within Miami, you can actually get arepa, queso blanco, taqueños, chorizos, argentinos, all delivered to you in an hour. So pretty amazing to see, to be able to get an arepa in an hour. In addition to the Prime Now service, we actually added Amazon restaurants to our platform in 2016. So you can now order from restaurants through the Prime Now app as well. So if you're here at the convention center and the lunch out here doesn't look fantastic, you can go on the Prime Now app right now and order some lunch directly at the convention center right now through Amazon restaurants. And here in Miami, we actually also have a different Amazon service available, which is Amazon Fresh. So if you need your full grocery assortment, you can use Amazon Fresh to order a full-tail grocery assortment that has all your different grocery items available, same and next day for your weekly shopping with Amazon Fresh. And so Amazon Fresh is available to Prime members for a $14.99 fee a month. But one of an insider secret I'll let you in on is Amazon Fresh recently added beer to the assortment. So if you really need some beer delivered by Amazon, you can get it through Amazon Fresh. So 111 days, that's the amount of time it took us to launch Prime Now. So from the moment it was pitched as an idea to Jeff Bezos and the senior leadership team about wanting to launch this ultra-fast delivery option for customers, 111 days is what it took us to launch that first zip code in Manhattan. So the question we always get is, how did we move that fast? So one of the things that allowed us to do this is actually a process we have at Amazon called working backwards. So what we do is actually write an internal press release to envision how we would want the program and product offering that we're building and what it will look like to customers once we finish it. So to invent our Prime Now, we actually started there and created a program we called Amazon Magic, because that's what we thought the customer's reaction would actually be to having something delivered that fast. And so this is the process we have. So I'll read it really quickly. So this morning, Amazon customers in New York City were greeted with an Amazon homepage announcing Amazon Magic, a new standalone mobile app that gives customers free and fast scheduled same-day deliveries, 6 two-hour scheduled deliveries between 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. on a huge selection of products. And for X99, you can also select Presto, an ultra-fast 1-hour delivery service. So if you're one of the few people who have not signed up for Prime yet, you should try this out. So this is actually a really interesting process. It's a little bit very unique to Amazon in the fact that we're actually creating this before we've ever coded a single line of code, before we ever did anything, we write the press release. And so it's a really backwards way of thinking about it, but what it does is focuses on the customer. It makes us focus on what the customer experience will be like, and then makes us focus ruthlessly on those things that matter for the customers. So you can see this is the actual language pulled from that internal document. And you can see a lot of the things exist today, something slightly tweaked, but the idea of having a 1-hour option, the scheduled delivery windows, the idea of having a separate standalone app, which is one of the choices we made, is not to integrate into the Amazon.com mobile shop initially so we could launch quicker. So all of this, we wrote the press release, got early alignment before we ever started coding. From there, we use a variety of methods to quickly start visualizing the end-to-end experience. So we use storybooks, for example, to start looking at this press release and frequently asked questions document that we do to come to life. So this is a technique that's extremely valuable for customer experiences that are in both digital and physical. And we got scrappy. So we start producing very low fidelity prototypes that start thinking what the process will look like. So we move rapidly iterating on lots of ideas and getting feedback on them quickly. So here, we wanted to create an experience of what the associate experience will be to picking these items in ultra-fast speed. So it's something that we did not have before. And so you can see we use paper, pencil clips, and visuals to actually create what that handheld device would look like for the associates that would actually be in the fulfillment center working and picking these orders. And this enabled us to go take it to associates that work in our warehouse today and get direct feedback at low cost on the process and make adjustments as needed. So this slide, I want to show what the ideal version of the app looks like and what our initial version looks like. So you'll see here on the left is what our ideal version, and then on version 1, you'll see what we actually launched. So you can see we wanted customers to be able to scroll through, see multiple different products. But if you look at the ideal version, once they clicked on a product, we wanted them to be able to quickly see what other items, add something to cart very quickly, and add the recommendation items. You see in version 1, we actually took them to a whole detail page. And then that add to cart and that recommended items is very much at the bottom. So we didn't like that experience. We wanted the very quick browsing experience. We wanted a system to quickly build the cart. However, we knew that building that ideal version was going to take some time. And again, we wanted to focus on speed. We wanted to launch. We wanted to make sure to get this out to market, and we continue to iterate. So if you've used Prime Now today, you'll notice that our app today is very much like version 1. So we have that recommendations widget brought to the top. Customers are very quickly able to shop. But when we first had to launch, we didn't have that right away. So a lot of you are probably familiar with the terms minimal viable product. Amazon, we twisted a little bit and called it minimal lovable product. So what's the minimum thing that our customers will love? And so we decided to go with that kind of version 1 initially. As we continue to develop service, we have to continue to use these same methods to continue to move fast. So in addition to our retail offering, we had to figure out how to actually shop from local stores. So this is a mock grocery store we built actually in our offices in Seattle. And so we had a mock grocery store. You can see the basket with a little cart there was supposed to simulate the checkout. And we'd actually create this mock process to go ahead and start figuring out what this process to pick and scan items would look like. And we continue to take that to life. So we'd bring some of these low fidelity prototypes and actually out to customers. And we'd actually go and show it to them and be able to get feedback from them right away. We'd all get these different techniques to make sure we had that right customer experience. So the best thing about Prime Now actually has been the customer response. So the end result is we had this product which customers around the world are loving. So every day, actually, at this conference, I get stopped all the time, and I hear with Amazon Prime Now, and I get a lot of folks that come up to me as, I love Prime Now. You've saved my life. So I have this story when I needed a gift for a birthday party, or I was cooking a meal at home and I ran out of an ingredient. And so I get fantastic stories all the time from customers about how they love Prime Now and how they use Prime Now today. So each day, I love how customers share how customer is making customers' lives easier and giving them back to do the things that matter. So we talk a lot internally about skipping the trip and why it makes sense. So we share the story of shopping sometimes is used as for pleasure, for fun. So many times you'll go out shopping with friends, whether it's clothes, and it's actually an enjoyable process. You'll go out with everyone. Buying paper towels or toilet paper, I don't think falls into that category. I don't get any enjoyment out of going shopping for paper towels, toilet paper, some of those everyday essentials. And so being able to order that from Prime Now, get it at fantastic cost, delivered ultra fast, has been amazing for myself and for customers. So this is just a few examples of direct customer feedback. So just went shopping. Oh wait, no, I just sat, watched the news, drank wine, and pushed buttons on my phone, and then groceries appeared on my doorstep in an hour. I love the hashtag specifically, spend time on the things that matter. Or when you're sick and can't go to the grocery store, Amazon or Prime Now. So this is one that I've used 1,000 times myself. So I have a 2.5-year-old and a 6-month at home. I don't know how I survived before having Prime Now available. So having, being sick and not having to strap 2 toddlers in a car and try to take them to the grocery store and run around as they chase them through the aisles is not something that's enjoyable for me. So I love being able to just order from Prime Now myself and route it here. Specifically for parents. So Amazon Prime Now is a total mommy saver for those long days. So happy baby, happy family. And so listen as well, Prime Now is the closest thing to room service at home. It's amazing. I laid in bed watching Teen Mom not wearing pants while I grocery shop, and it was delivered in 45 minutes. This changes things, y'all. And so finally, I wanted to show one quick video about how one customer decides to use Prime Now.
It's 7:05. I just bought a waffle maker, waffle mix and syrup on Prime Now. It should be here by 8 o'clock. We'll see. I ordered the waffle maker at 7:04. It is now 7:28. Boom. 24 minutes. Waffle maker. First waffle in. 39 minutes from when I ordered on Amazon, including the waffle maker, to having a finished, prepared waffle. First bite. The future is now. The future is now.
Perfect. Thank you, everyone.